I mean, shoot. I just love that hairline, Honestly, I gotta sponge my hair for real, get it more more spiky. Right now it's kind of a circle. It's on that, circle type shape. But but anyway, you know, we I've had a situation in the school. I've had a situation in the school, and it started damn, how long has this been going on? Shit. I know this nigga since 2024. 2024. A minute, I think a year ago. I don't know. Maybe spring 2024. I don't know, but it's been a minute. And nothing serious for real. Nothing serious for real. It's just what I learned from this. This is what I learned for this. But basically, first of all, this nigga, this dude, he autistic for real. He autistic. He's slow. He don't know what's going on. He don't know nothing. He don't know what's going on. He don't know himself. You feel me? He don't know himself. He autistic, and second of all, he's gay. And at first, met this dude in the dining hall. One of the workers. I don't want to get bro in trouble because niggas already, they already got on him for real. But met him in the dining hall. And he's slow. You feel me? Remember the first thing he talked about was how he's making a gay fan fiction, a gay porno with characters, My Little Pony characters. And he showed me a picture of himself, photoshopped buff with a buff body. He's just slow. He don't know what's going on, you feel me? But, and I can't lie, me and the boys, we would troll the nigga. Really me, I troll the nigga, you feel me? I troll him type shit. I troll him. Fuck with him type shit. But eventually things got out of hand. I cannot lie. Things got out of hand. And the nigga thought I was flirting with him, and things escalated after that. I was like, nah, fam, I wasn't. I remember I just wished him a happy Valentine's Day, sent a little kissy emoji, just to fuck with him, just type shit. And he thought I was flirting with him. I was like, nah, just trolling. Then I hugged bro. You feel me? I hug him and he grabs my ass, and nobody, not since high school. Well, high school, it just used to get slapped, by this other nigga, you feel me? He wasn't gay, he just on some foodie shit, just high school boys type shit, slap your ass and shit. But this nigga grabbed my ass, straight up, he cupped the shit. You feel me? He cupped the shit. And I just remember a joke going up my body. I was like, whoa, type shit. I was like, whoa, type shit. The nigga, shit. Nigga cut my ass, you feel me? This nigga just cut my ass. And then he gave me a flirty, body. Like, I gotta be serious, He gave me a flirty bye. He was like, he's like, bye, type shit, Like he gave me that seductive bye. Yo, this nigga is fucking gay as fuck, bro. Yo, he gave me that seductive ass bye. Like, he autistic. I don't really blame the nigga, you feel me? He don't know what's going on, but he gave me the flirty ass bye. He walked off. And then after that, he started asking for, damn, what did he ask for? First he grabbed my ass. Then after that he started, after that he apologized for the butt grab, you feel me? He apologized for the butt grab, but truly, he wasn't sorry because it kept on continuing, you feel me? Not grabbing my ass, but trying to crack me, trying to fuck me, you feel me? And then after that, he asked for pictures of my butt. You feel me? Obviously, he's gonna beat his shit to it. He's gonna beat his shit to it. He's gonna jack off to it. This is all true story. I get the screenshots. You feel me? He trying to crack. You feel me? He wanted pictures of my butt. Jack off to this shit. You feel me? And I was like, I didn't even respond to that shit. But in person, I told the dude, I got a girl, you feel me? I got a girl and stuff like that. This is last semester. I told him I got a girl and stuff like that. He was like, nah, and shit like that. He started shit talking to her. He was like, oh, she controlling and stuff like that. Fuck her and shit like that. You should come fuck with me. I was like, nah, type shit. And then it just started to escalate after that, Nigga in the calf just staring me down. Like, my man's telling me, he behind you and just looking at you while he eating his food, bro. Like, he on his phone, then he look at me, stare me the fuck down, eating his shit, just staring me down, doing that shit multiple times, just trying to get at me, trying to crack, you feel me, trying to crack. You know, and this is why I started to feel something, you know. I started feeling a certain type of way because it's like, you know, this nigga trying to crack me, you know, he trying to fuck me. You know, he want to stick it in my butt, you feel me? He trying to crack. And I started feeling a certain type of way, you feel me? And I can't cap, I had to start avoiding him after that, you know. I remember I came out the bathroom, you know, and he was just standing right there just looking at me. I came out the single stall private bathroom, standing there just looking at me, and I remember I just raced past that nigga, bro. I speed walked past that nigga, bro. I never felt so uncomfortable in my life, you know. And then I just started running through scenarios, you know, in my head, just him catching me in the bathroom, for real. Catching me in the bathroom, like, how it would go down, you know, him trying to force himself on me. Cause I knew that's where shit was heading. You know, him trying to force himself on me. You know, probably, you know. And I was like, could I fight that nigga off? And I think I could, but you know, there's a thing called sped nigga strength. You feel me? And I don't know, he might be one of those that you think they're weak, but they're actually strong. And the thing with him is like, the nigga, like he 40 years old, he don't look at, but he actually 40 years old. So you got that on top of the old man strength. I don't know. And you know, I even told my girl to freaking press him. She wasn't gonna do shit though. She wasn't pressing his ass. You feel me? She wasn't pressing his ass, you know. She's too girly for that. You know, then the school year ends, you know, I don't think about the nigga. You know, not at all. This semester, this school year, you know, comes around. You know, I walk into the store, you know, the store that he works at, and well, first before that, you know, I told the workers, you know, I was like, oh, you know, I didn't want to report him and get in trouble. I kind of found it a little funny, you know, but I was like, you know, that nigga so-and-so, you know, he weird and shit like that, you know, and stuff like that. He a freak. I didn't call him weird. I said he a freak. I said he a freak, you know, he freaky. And I was like, you know, what did he do? But I wasn't trying to get in trouble, you know, until one day I walked in the store, you know, and I'm just there to spend my $9, order, you know, get some drinks, get some chips. I'm just there to, you know, get my stuff and dip. You know, I get 0 sugar beverages. I don't even drink. I don't even eat chips like that. You know, everything can't have sugar in it. I'm on a no sugar diet, but I'm there getting my 0 sugar beverages. You know, and he's in there. You feel me? And I told the gay nigga just to make it quick. You feel me? He knows the situation. You know, I told him, you know, I put on my hoodie. I'm like, you know, get me out of there quick. And the moment I walk in the door, you know, he's like, oh my God, you know, look who it is, all loud. And, you know, I tell the gay nigga, you know, I'm not acknowledging him. I'm like, you know, get me out of there quick. You feel me? And the nigga get me out of there quick. And as I'm leaving the door, you feel me? He's like, you know, run. He says my name. He starts saying, run. You feel me? Like, you know, he's saying my name and then he's saying run. He's saying, like, let's say my name is Tyler. He's saying, run, Tyler, run. You know, type shit. That's what he's saying, you know, as I'm leaving. And ever since then, you know, I'm really thinking about him crazy. Cause I'm like, God damn, you know, this nigga not stopping. I said I had a girl, you know, I ducked the break, you know, that nigga will forget about me and shit like that. But clearly he did not. And this nigga, he really trying to crack. And then it just really dawned on me, damn, I got a nigga that's really trying to crack me, you feel me? And now I'm watching my back, you know, especially in the calf, you know, because this is where it's going down. It's in the calf, you know, in the bathroom. Gotta watch out for that nigga every time I'm there, you know. And I'm thinking, you know, I'm thinking about the times that he's there and when he's not. You know, I'm measuring this shit. I'm timing this shit, you feel me? And I go to the store when I know he's on his break, you feel me? And I'm instantly dashing towards the store, you know. And then people, even the workers, taking note of it. They're like, oh, you know, he only coming in here when the nigga's not in here. And you know, the other dude, he telling me the times that he's not here. You know, I'm avoiding it. I'm ducking and dodging. You feel me? I'm avoiding it. You feel me? And you know, I'm just avoiding that store for real. I'm just avoiding that store. Every time he's in there, you know, I check to see every time he's in there. And, you know, when he's not in there, you know, I don't go in there. You know, I got to wait till he's not in there. And other people take a notice. Other people take a note of this. Other workers take a note of this. You know, and even one day, you know, well, one of the other workers, she didn't fuck with the nigga, bro. So she didn't like his ass. You feel me? And, you know, one day, you know, she asked me, oh, you know, what's up? And I'm like, nah, I can't go in there because I straight up tell her, you know, the nigga trying to crack. He's trying to fuck me. You feel me? The nigga in there trying to fuck me and shit like that. You know, I straight up tell her and shit. And, you know, they're like, oh shit. They're all socked and shit like that. Then I go in the cab, you feel me? And after that, you know, I guess he tells the other lady and it escalates, you feel me? And he finally gets talked to. You know, he finally gets talked to. His autistic self, he finally gets talked to. And, you know, they get on him for real because he, low key, you know, he sexually harassing me. You know, the nigga grabbed my ass, nigga asked for butt pics and shit like that. You know, nigga really trying to fuck me. He's trying to have sex with me. Straight up, he trying to fuck me. You know, he trying to fuck me. You know? And, you know, what started off as just some trolling and shit turned out to be a fully fledged, freaky ass gay nigga who wants to have sex with me. Straight up. So, you know, they get on that nigga and, you know, to this day, I avoid his ass straight up. First of all, I ran out of $9, you know, but still I avoid him straight up. Don't go in that store. And, you know, he apologized to me, you know, in passing, but he don't really mean this shit. He only apologized because he got caught. You feel me? He trying to crack. If he didn't get caught, I don't know. That nigga, he would have done something to my, he would have still been trying to fuck me and shit, you know? He would have still been trying to fuck me. You know, he only apologized because his ass got caught. But yeah, the nigga was trying to crack, you feel me? And this experience, it did something to me, you feel me? I've had 6 nightmares on total from gay niggas, you feel me? From gay niggas trying to do the same shit to me, you know? The first one, my roommate next door, you know, I can't cap, he looks sus. I can't cap, he looks sus, you know? He looks sus, but the nigga next door, you know, he confessed his feelings to me. He want me and stuff like that, you know. And then another dude who I suspect has gay feelings for me, he confessed his feelings to me. This is all in the same dream, you know. He confessed his feelings to me, you know, and I just felt uncomfortable from both scenarios, you know. I think the roommate tried kissing me straight up, you know, grabbed my face. This isn't a dream, but he confessed his feelings to me. The other dude confessed his feelings to me. And then in that same dream later on, this gay ass, well, he not gay, but this fat dude from Towson, you know, real fat dude, you know, he built like a bumblebee, straight up. You know, he built like a bumblebee. And he chased me in the bathroom straight. He chased me in the bathroom, and I'm hiding in the stall, locking myself in the stall, and I'm on top of the toilet looking out, and he's saying just gay shit to me. You know, he want to crack and stuff like that. He coming for that ass. You know, he really trying to crack. You know, he dead ass trying to crack me. So I'm having nightmares now because of him. I'm having nightmares. And then in the last dream I had, this is the next dream I remember. You know, these are the dreams I remember. You know, straight up, I tricked this old white dude. I don't know the scenario, but we were in my house. You know, old white dude, I tricked, you feel me? You know, I tricked him into something. I was like, oh, you know, I'll let him, this is gay of me in the dream, but I'll let him, you know, hit if he gives me so-and-so. But my intentions was I was never going to let him hit. I was just going to trick him into giving me the thing, and then I was going to escape. And, you know, I did that. You know, I got the thing from him. But I realized in the dream, you know, the window was too small for me to jump out of it, and I couldn't escape. And I remember feeling the dread in the dream, you know, and, you know, I was scared, and I was like, oh, shit, you know, I don't want you, in the dream, I said, I don't want you, you know, having sex with me, you feel me? I don't want you having sex with me. And the old white dude was like, you know, he quit playing with me, nigga. He like, quit playing with me, man. You tripping, man. He was like, nah. And then he was carrying on doing his thing. You know, he's taking a shower in preparation for me. You feel me? He's getting in the shower in preparation for cracking me, you feel me? And he was like, quit playing with me. But then he found out I was dead ass and shit like that, you know. And then I attacked him first, you know, and stuff like that. You know, I got to jump on him first. You know, he tried forcing himself on me. You know, he tried forcing himself on me. Then I attacked him and stuff like that. And then, you know, he teleported outside the house, and he was near the door, and he was just dead set on killing my whole family and finishing the deed with me. And the dream ended when he broke through the door, and then I just woke up. And yeah. So I'm having nightmares from this nigga straight up. I'm having nightmares from him straight up. You know, he did something. My man said, you know, he traumatized me, and I can't lie. I don't look at gay people the same anymore. I don't look at them the same anymore, you feel me, after him. I really had a nigga trying to crack me for real. I had a nigga trying to crack me straight up. You know, that does something to you. That does something to you straight up. That does something to you, you know. I can't go to prison straight up. I can't go to prison. But really, the lesson of this video is I know what it's like to be objectified. You know, with him, he didn't see my intelligence. He didn't see any of my, you know, intellect. He didn't see any of my interests. He didn't see any of this KingPill. You know, he really just saw a piece of ass. You know, he stripped me down and dehumanized me just to my body, you know, just to my looks. And that's what objectification feels like. That's what it's like to be objectified. You know, no, he didn't see my interest. He didn't see my intellect, you know, any of my knowledge, any of the knowledge I'm spending here. He didn't see any of my humanity. He just saw a piece of ass. He just saw some shit he could fuck. And that's how, and I, you know, I know what it's like to be a woman now. I know what it's like to be objectified as a girl. The nigga saw nothing else, just a piece of ass. You know, that's all that nigga saw. He just saw a piece of ass he could crack. You feel me? None of my intellect, none of my knowledge, none of my becoming. You know, no KingPill, just a piece of ass. And that's what it's like to be objectified. You know, strip me of my humanity, dehumanizing. You feel me? Just a piece of ass, just reduced to what he could get from me and his looks. Now, he autistic. He don't know shit that's going on, but the nigga was trying to crack, you feel me? The nigga was trying to crack, and I know what it's like to be objectified now. You know, he didn't see any of my knowledge. He didn't see just nothing about me, just saw a piece of ass. They even try to get to know me, just want to hit. You feel me? Just focus on hitting. And that's how it's like to be to be a lot of these girls. You feel me? Now, you know, a lot of them, I can't lie, you know, I'm gonna get flack with this, but they present themselves as a sex object, you know. If you're showing off your ass and shit like that, showing off your body, of course niggas gonna objectify you, you feel me? But, you know, still, this is what it's like to be some of these girls. You know, just stripped down to everything else but just your body and what they could get from it. So I know what it's like to be objectified now. You know, this was a lesson. You know, a lesson of showing me the other side, but still, I gotta avoid that nigga. That nigga's a freak. That nigga's trying to crack straight up.